clock rolls around, go eat more pasta, no more carbs, no more bread. If you want to lose 5 pounds in a week, stop eating bread. It'll just immediately melt off of you. So it's easy to monitor how you're eating as long as you're not eating junk food, sodas, sugar, garbage food. If you put clean food in, you get pure energy that comes out and you have no fat left over. There's all kinds of training that you need to do to complement a style, a system, a combat-oriented martial art. You need plyometric training, strength and conditioning training, breathing training, flexibility training, explosion training. Everything is, like I said, one small piece of this giant puzzle. So there's 5 different workouts there for all different aspects of your martial arts. Some examples of my training are plyometric drills. And we do a lot of plyometric drills, always on my toes, always exploding my hips and my body forward. And this builds all my power for my striking, punching, kicking, takedown, wrestling. And it makes sure I'm on my toes and I'm powerful all the time. Those are all my plyometric training drills. I do cardiovascular training drills. We do long-term explosion so I can steal the last minutes of every single round. We do flexibility training where we have resistance pushing against a stretching person and then relaxing and elongating that muscle. We do breathing combined with stretching as a workout. There's many different aspects that combine the machine of your body and make it as efficient as possible. The most common mistakes I see people make in mixed martial arts or in martial arts training is not having the right technique and then overworking it and then it becoming a habit. Once you have a habit, you have to break the bad habit, and that's the hardest part. A lot of that comes from having a good teacher and of course, as a student, paying really good attention. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in all kinds of training is overtraining. They don't listen to their body when their body says, I've had enough. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing and eventually get injured. So one of the hardest parts about training is knowing when not to train and when to relax. And one of the hardest parts about training is realizing that you get strongest when you're resting, not when you're working out. What not to do in training for mixed martial arts or starting in training in mixed martial arts is, jumping in and going 5 days a week immediately. Definitely ease into whatever you do. Take your time. Some definite don'ts. Don't do a martial art that is not oriented for combat. And there's a lot of martial arts that are not combat-based, combat-oriented. Now, every single martial art at one point was created for combat, but some of those combat instances have died away. So be careful when you pick a martial art that it is tailored to what's going on in reality right now. Well, for weight training, I would definitely advise doing medium weights and never going super heavy, never swinging, getting crazy. I stick on a very, very simple workout for weightlifting. I do 3 exercises, 3 sets per muscle, and that's my whole workout. And I work 3 days a week. It's the only time I lift weights. So 3 days a week, 3 sets, 3 exercises per muscle, 3, 3, and 3. My workout is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And Monday I'll come in, I'll do my chest, my triceps, and my neck. And then Wednesday I'll come in, and I'll do my back, my biceps, and my calves. And then Saturday or Friday, I'll come in and I'll do my legs, calves, hamstrings, and abs. And I just work them very technical. Everything is a breath. Everything is perfect technique. I'm lifting weights not to show how strong I am, but to condition my muscles and my tendons so that I will last longer, be stronger, and my body will be stronger. What I do to focus is I breathe and I meditate and I visualize, and I do combat scenarios, techniques, and everything in my mind. By the time I step in the ring, we laugh about it, Zen and all these other focus, Chi, but it is true. Fighting is 90% mental. By the time I walk in the ring, the fight's already over. I've already seen how I've won 50 different times. So to me, there's nothing that could ever happen to me that I haven't visualized that's going to surprise me, make me tired, scare me. I do it all in my mind and all through my breathing and relaxing. So mental is a huge part of it. Before all my matches, I do deep breathing and relaxing. And usually I get so relaxed from my deep breathing that I actually fall asleep. And all I do is I breathe in as deep as humanly possible, straighten my body up, stretch everything out, and just try and relax. each breath, I just try and breathe more out and relax more and relax more. And what I'm actually doing is a subtle form of self-hypnosis. I'm bringing my heart rate, my body temperature, everything, I'm just chilling it down, trying to calm all those nerves, all that anxiety that I have before the big competition. I use visualization in all of my training. And what I do is I visualize scenarios that happen during fights. I visualize instances that could happen, angles of attacks and everything. And I go through them systematically in my mind all the time, before, during, and after, while I'm training, when I'm relaxing. I just keep the process, like pieces of puzzle, always fitting together in my mind when I visualize. Hi everybody, I'm Frank Shamrock. We're going to do, in this tape, the 10 best submission holds, along with the 10 best counters for those holds, and the 5 best escapes on the ground. We're going to have a very open overview of submissions, submission wrestling, the positions, the submissions, and the angles of power that go with it. So pay attention. All right, we're going to move right into our submission holds. So bring Big Danny on here. First thing we're going to start with is arm bars. The first one we'll do is we'll do arm bars from the top position. That's from our dominant position up here. And the thing to remember on all of our submission holds is the position is more important than the submission. Every submission hold works just like this: movement, position, submission, in that exact order. So we never really try for the hold until we get the position. And sometimes that is what takes the time. So we'll go through it piece by piece. Let's get you right there. First one we're going to do is what I like to call a telephone lock. And it starts from my basic head and arm position. It's a very standard holding, wrestling, grappling position. And it's right here. My lock actually scoops under this arm and sucks it all the way in. And I'll pull him chin to chest. And my hold is just the power of my hips against his shoulder. The only holds we're doing are the most effective, bone-breaking, life-changing, got-to-give-up holds. There are thousands of other holds, but they don't really matter in combat and in serious grappling because they don't work. So my key points to this are always chin to chest. I'm not just holding his head. I'm always holding his head so that his chin is touching his chest. That's the key to this. It'll lock his spine, and it won't let him bridge or use his head at all. Control the head, control the body. So we're always going to be chin to chest. The way I set my hold up is, once I get it out there anyway, and the way I can get it is just by cranking on him and getting him to push me. The way I get it out there, once I get it out there, I'm just going to put weight on it like I'm bench pressing. I'm just going to set it, drive it down. Once I start driving it down, I want to bring my foot around and catch it. So that's the whole hold right there. Chin to chest, driving it down, and I'm going to catch. Once I get a solid catch, I'll stick it in as deep as I can. I'm going to figure 4 of my legs, make sure it doesn't get out. Then the key is I'm going to pull him chin to chest and just push my hips forward. So I don't really go anywhere. I'm not leaning, I'm not pushing, I'm not pulling. My legs are not straightened out at all. I'm going to leave these angles 90 degrees where I have power. When his arm is at 90 degrees, that's going to jeopardize the shoulder. So I got all my components, chin to chest. That'll be my hold. So do it again, full speed. It's my position. I'll drive it down, catch, 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 and my hold. Okay? So first, the most important lock is my telephone lock. We call it telephone lock because once it gets up here, he's always saying this. Hello? Oh, you're breaking my arm. You're breaking my arm there. Okay? So remember that. Telephone lock. First one. Second one. Let's turn you right here. Second one's going to be a hammer lock, what I call a hammer lock. And it works just like this. I get my side mount position, all my weight on the body. I'm going to take some of that weight, and I'm going to transfer it to his arm. That way I know it's held down. So I don't need my arm power to hold down his arm power. I'll just put some of my weight on it. Once I get the weight on the arm, I'm going to stick my hand flat on the mat and under the shoulder, and I'm going to lift his arm all the way up and walk his body to my hand. This hand will never move. You have to remember that. His hand will never move. If his hand moves, then your weight controlling that arm is not going to be effective. He's going to move his arm around. So when I see it, I put weight on it. That will control it. Hand on the mat. I'll lift it all the way up, and I will walk his body
to my hand to get this hold. The hold isn't finished here, but the position is. So I movement, position. Now I'll do my submission. For my submission, I'm just going to roll it back, just turn it. Okay? What you want to be conscious of is do not let anything touch the mat. Anything of his that touches the mat will take away my power and will stop the pressure on the shoulder. So that's why when I catch it, I roll him up on his side where that arm is free to continue to move up his back.